Good morning. My name is Konrad Kopczynski. I'm the founder and CEO of the Satuday Delivery. I'm also an undergraduate student here at GW, majoring in economics and mathematics. Satuday Delivery is mainly a bulk food and drink delivery service. This main goal is divided up into two services that we provide. The first is a weekly delivery service. There's no minimum order amount on this weekly delivery service, and as the name implies, the deliveries are made once a week. The other service, our large order delivery service, is more of a case-by-case service. There is a minimum order amount of about $200, $300, and then these orders will be delivered at any time that the customer requires. I can show the problem and the market opportunity for our service through the typical thought process of a college student. Let's call her Jennifer. And Jennifer wants a case of bottled water. Currently, she has about 3 solutions to this dilemma that she has. The first is she can go to Costco by car. To go to Costco by car, however, she has to rent a car and she has to take at least usually an hour or 2 of her own time to make the trip herself. So this isn't a very good solution for Jennifer. Another solution that's currently available is to go to a local grocery store. However, the prices at the local grocery store are much higher than ours, and then you have to carry this case of water back to your apartment or dorm room on your own. And so again, this is not a very good solution for Jennifer. The third solution is to go to Costco by Metro. Here, the price is about the same as our price, factoring in Metro cost and the cost of the case of water. But again, there's a lot of labor involved and a lot of effort involved that does not make this a good solution for Jennifer. So our solution is to make deliveries once a week. We have, as you can see here on this graph, we can offer lower cost and a lower time and a lower effort. Cost is on the y-axis here, time is on the x-axis, and effort is represented by the size of the spheres. Our service, this is actually for a case of Gatorade. Our service, it costs $17.99, including delivery, everything, all charges. If you wanted to go to a local store, you would be paying up to $30 for the same case of Gatorade, and then you would have to carry it back, so there's a lot of effort. If you would want it to get it delivered, which is possible, for instance, with Giant's Peapod service or from Safeway, there's a minimum order amount of $50, and there's then a $10 delivery fee. Which makes it very inconvenient, especially for our target market, which is college students who don't have cars and who also don't have a lot of storage space in their apartment. They have enough storage space that they'd like to keep a couple cases of Gatorade, maybe around a couple big boxes of cereal, things like that. But they don't have space to order $100 worth of groceries all the time. If you're going to Costco by car, in general, our same target market will be renting the car from Zipcar, which costs about $9 an hour, which adds up to $18 for the car because it takes usually at least an hour or 2 to get to Costco and to come back, taking into account traffic and anything that may come up in the meantime. And then the case there costs about $14, plus the $18 ends up to be about $30, $35. Also here, there's other costs involved. A Costco membership costs $50 a year, which is another thing that the student has to worry about. And a Zipcar membership costs at least $25 a year for the basic university plan. Then if you're going to Costco by Metro, the price is actually about the same, $17, counting in the $3 there and back Metro fee. But here again, there's a lot of effort involved. I've done it before. It takes a lot of effort to bring back a case of Gatorade or from Costco, and if you want 2, it's almost impossible. Now, there is a possibility if you go to Costco by car that you fill up the whole car and you bring back. But again, this is the same issue as I was talking about before. Our target market doesn't have a lot of storage space where they live, so they would not be driving to Costco, filling up their car with $300, $400 worth of groceries, and then driving back. And then even if they wanted to, they could use our large order delivery service where we negotiate the prices with them and give them a better price and more convenience because we'll deliver at any time. So our solution is the best out of these 4 solutions. Our target market, as I spoke a little bit about before, is college students. Originally, we're going to be focusing on the Foggy Bottom campus here at George Washington University. There's about 10,000 students in and around the Foggy Bottom campus, both in dorms and in apartment buildings that are nearby dorms. What we are planning as a market saturation rate is about 10% of our customers using our service. When we conducted a survey of students, students said that they would use our service on average about once every 3 weeks. So with a 10% saturation rate, that's 1,000 customers a month with about 1,300 orders per month from each of our customers. And then once we establish ourselves here in Foggy Bottom, we plan to expand to other areas, first in DC and Virginia, other college campuses, but then also to other areas on the East Coast and eventually nationwide. Our marketing will be split up into 2 initiatives. First will be an online initiative, which will be focused on our Facebook page and our website. In this day, there's basically every college student has a Facebook page. The adoption rate has to be something over 95%. And we have a page where you can leave feedback. We have a section for reviews. We actually already have a couple reviews up on our Facebook page from satisfied customers. And then these page will direct them to our website where they can place orders, find out more information, come in contact with our staff. Then also we will have online advertising on the GW Hatchet and the Daily Colonial's website, which are the school newspaper websites. The second part of our marketing initiative will be more of a traditional approach. We'll have print ads in newspapers, at first in the GW Hatchet, which is the George Washington newspaper. And then we will also have flyers and posters which will be posted around campus and which we will distribute. Over here on the right is actually a graphic that we currently use on one of our flyers that we hand out. Our sales procedure, again, is split into 2 different parts according to our 2 different services. With our weekly order service, what happens is, for instance, if Jennifer wanted to order her case of water, we have an order deadline every week on Friday morning. And before that deadline, she would go on our website, and there's a simple order page where she can click exactly what she wants, and she can just add it to a cart that we have set up. And then she can check out on our website, and the payment system is through Google Checkout. And currently we accept credit cards and debit cards online. We also have plans to accept GWorld, which is the GW student cash plan. But when we spoke with the GWorld office, they said they would like a 6-month incubation period for any new businesses. But we are in contact with them about that. Then once we receive her order, on Friday we process the orders, we make sure everything is okay, we can deliver to every place that ordered. And then on Friday afternoon, we set out emails letting our customers know what time on Saturday we'll be delivering to them. Then on Saturday morning, we drive and we pick up our goods, and we then deliver them on Saturdays. Usually, we aim to have delivery times starting at 1 p.m. and ending before 5 p.m. And this information is all on our website as well for any customers who want to order from us. For our large order service, it's more of a traditional sales-driven service. There's 2 main ways which we receive orders. The first would be through our website again, if somebody contacted us through our website. And the second would be we'll have a sales team that actually contacts student organizations, fraternities that may need large amounts of bulk items for events that they may be holding, things like that. Then once we come in contact with them, we'll discuss exact price terms. The prices here will be lower than our prices for our weekly delivery service. And also the delivery times will be whenever the customer requires. So all the details there will be worked out on a one-on-one basis from each order that we get. Currently, the Satuday Delivery is incorporated as a limited liability company in the District of Columbia. I am its sole owner. I've invested about $600 into its creation between the legal fees for the LLC and the website and startup administrative costs. On the right here is actually the order page of our website. As you can see, there's a big blue add to cart buttons, and you can just select exactly what you want, add to your cart. Up on the right-hand corner is actually our shopping cart, which stays there and constantly updates. And then when you are ready to order, you can just click checkout, and it transfers you to a page that's actually provided by Google, so it's secure, and you can enter your credit card information and pay for your order. We currently haven't really been doing much marketing. We've been operating for 3 weeks so far. This is actually our third weekend of operations. After this weekend, we're going to take a break for a month or so until we start up again in June. What we have been doing so far is kind of a beta service in order to gauge interest and to streamline our operations, to really hammer down our marketing and our operations procedure so that we can develop that. We've already also, as I mentioned before, received a couple of positive reviews on our Facebook page from customers who are satisfied. And we do have repeat customers already just in the past 3 weeks. Capital required to start the business is only $20,000, actually exactly what's being offered here today. That'll be enough to fully fund the business and to make sure that we have an adequate marketing campaign and that we have adequate capital to deal with any issues that may arise. Here are our financial projections for the first 12 months. Over the summer, we do not expect very high volume of orders because we do know that most GW students are not here over the summer, so it's a much smaller market. The main goal of this summer would be actually to build a brand image, to further refine our operations procedure, to develop our marketing procedure as well, so that in September when we come back and when students come back, we can hit the ground running with an all-out advertising campaign, have a large order volume, and that would actually be our first month of net profit. Also, into these sales projections are taken into account such weeks, for instance, as Thanksgiving break or January and December Christmas break. If you look, for instance, in November, our net income in November is lower than in October, even though sales per week will be rising through November, but that's taking into account the week where everybody goes home for Thanksgiving. And we also take spring break into account later. The specifics of each of our financials, this is how we calculated those sales figures and how we calculated the money and the net profit. For each specific van, we only have to fill 7.5% of the van with goods to break even on that van in terms of labor costs and paying for the van for the Saturday delivery days. That leaves us at least $800 in profit on each van if we fill each van with our lowest cost or profit to volume goods, which is actually would be a case of water. But so even if the whole van is filled with cases of water, we make $800 of profit. And if we fill it with other goods that have a higher margin, we make more profit on each van. And that's what we did to show the costs. Our variable costs of each additional van were calculated into the projections that you saw on the slide before. Some of our long-term projections, as I said before, market saturation for GW's Foggy Bottom campus is about 1,300 orders a month. So as you can see, we're going to hit that about in mid to early 2010. So what we plan to do to continue this growth is to expand to other places, first just in DC, for instance, in Georgetown and George Mason, maybe in Virginia, where we will be able to provide the same service to our students or to the students there for lower prices and with great high-quality service. Our development plan, again, as I just spoke of, is first to expand the delivery area. This is going to be our big developmental offering, where we're going to go first into other places in DC, Virginia, and then all over the United States. But first start focusing on Urbridge College campuses is where we'll be focusing first. Then we also plan to expand products offered. This is actually something more that we'll be starting right away, not 6 months down the road. Currently, we offer probably 15 different products on our website for order, but we plan to expand that every week. We've been adding at least 5 new things, and so we started out the first week with just maybe 3 things, and now we're up to around 15. So we plan to keep expanding and offering so that we become more of a one-stop place for bulk food and drink items. So summary, why I believe that Saturday Delivery should receive the $20,000 prize is because this is a very simple idea. It's a very viable idea. I'm already operating. It's something that is easy to do and is easy to implement and is also very easy to scale. Something that I can make much larger very easily and very quickly. And then once I receive this capital without much additional capital, I actually don't plan to pay myself for the first year or so of operations because I want to build up a surplus of cash for the business so that I do not need extra funding in extra rounds so that I can use the cash that I make from the business to develop into other areas. So it's a very low-cost venture, very simple, very viable, and it's also something that's immediately going to happen. If I receive this money, I'll immediately start operating in June with to the full extent of what is available to me. So with that, I'd like to open it for questions.
It was a great presentation. One thing that wasn't clear to me is if the barrier to competition seems kind of low.
Oh, right.
And one thing I would worry about is as you build the company and as you're successful, are you concerned about others easily copying what you're doing and becoming competitors?
Well, obviously there will be people who are trying to copy and to become competitors. What the barriers for competition, as I see here, one of the things that I didn't focus on as much as I wanted to in the presentation actually is what we've been doing the last 3 weeks is trying to build a brand. What I'm trying to do here is build a brand which will be something like, all right, well, this is a Saturday Delivery. Oh, I've heard about them. They have very good service. They have very good prices. They're always on time. If they're not, they'll let me know. They communicate. So that's one of the ways that we want to do sustain barriers to entry. Another way is also we want to keep our prices very low. Currently, we're going to Costco to get our goods, but once we reach a certain volume, we want to expand and go to distributors to get goods directly from distributors, which will give us one of two things: bigger margins on our products or lower prices. And that's another area where we think we can really keep other companies from competing with us.
Thank you.
I agree. It was a great presentation. In a lot of these kind of sort of retail type operations, the expansion into another geography is a lot of times the issue, because how are we going to, in a sense, clone you in a different city, say in Boston? Mm-hmm. And yet, for the quality of service, you need to have somebody who really takes ownership. So what's your thought process about how you kind of expand the talent pool to another geography?
Well, obviously that is a big issue. With the first expansions into other areas here around DC and Virginia, I could actually be present. Also, what I would like to do is I'd like to build kind of an organization here with somebody that I trust at the head of it, somebody who I see is proven at working and at giving that high quality of service and making sure that everything runs smoothly here in DC. And then technically what I could do is I could go to that other location and do the startup there myself until I pick somebody there who I know can give the same level of quality and service as I would be giving if I was there on my own.
Just to expand a little on that, how do you see the labor side of operations working? Who are you going to hire? How are you going to hire them? How is that going to work?
Currently, what I'm looking at actually is just hiring college students from the same universities, because I don't need labor more than once a week, at least most times. With a large order delivery service, what I will actually do at first is I'm going to have a sales department part, probably consisting of one person who is in charge of soliciting sales and so forth. And so that person will also then be in charge of driving the van to deliver those orders whenever the customer wants those. But the rest of the labor will be hired on a one-time basis. And when I talk about the van with the $800 profit at least, there's built in there $150 to $200 for labor for each day. So that would be to hire 2 people to drive it and to make the deliveries.
So what will they get paid?
It wouldn't be, I probably wouldn't make it more of an hourly thing. It would be more like $80, for instance, and then you have the whole day to make the deliveries and to do that. And so it's more of it wouldn't be more than 8 hours, so it would end up being at least $10 an hour. But it would be more of a incentive to finish, to do it on time, instead of just sitting around and collecting an hourly wage.
Why don't you charge more? I mean, you look at the options.
Well, that's part of the appeal is that it is such a low price, and I think I mean, maybe it may turn out in 3 months down the road that I don't have good enough margins and that I may want to raise prices a little bit. But from my calculations, these prices, I can still make money, and the prices are so much lower than everything else around that I can really leverage that. And that's really like, people look at this and say, wow, that's actually a really good price. And it's not like, I'm not trying to give them a price that says, oh, this is a good price because it's delivered to me. I want a price that just says, this is the best price I can get anywhere. And that's part of actually the marketing appeal that I want to show. Part of what I'm going to show for the marketing is I'll have ads which compare my prices for a case of Gatorade to another case of Gatorade, for instance, at Safeway or somewhere. But also a case of Gatorade divided into 24 parts, how much you're paying for each bottle as compared to how much you're paying for each bottle if you go to the store and you pay $1.50 there for each bottle, or even $2 sometimes.
In your presentation, I couldn't tell when you were looking at the costs if, what you were covering other than the van. Are you covering the labor of the people who are going to drive?
When I talk about the 7.5% in the van, that covers cost of labor and cost of rental of the van.
Thank you.
Insurance?
Insurance as well, yeah. That's part of the cost of the van.
Delivery to the room? Or to the door?
To the door. The delivery is to the door.
What can go wrong?
There's just a lot of things could go wrong. Also from experience for the last 3 weeks. You'd think that when people make orders, they would want to receive their items. But actually, people don't seem to be very interested in getting what they paid for. Our sales procedure, our delivery procedure is the closest we put together times is 20 minutes. So for instance, I don't know how familiar you guys are with dorms here, but for instance, today, our first delivery at 1 p.m. is in Guthridge Hall, which is on F Street, next to the new dorm actually that they're building. Second delivery is at 1:20 at Thurston Hall, which is a block and a half down the street. We get there at 1 o'clock, and we notify our customers by text message that we are there and that they should be ready to come down and pick up their order. If they're not there in 5 minutes, we call them. And if they don't pick up, then we leave a message. If they don't show up by the end of 15 minutes, then we leave a message, say you need to reschedule your order, and please call us back. There's actually then a $5 charge, rescheduling fee for that. We actually have been waiving it in the last 3 weeks just because this is the first couple weeks of operations, but that is built into the business plan there. And then that gives us another 5 minutes then to get to our next order location. Then if the customer can't get in contact with us within 24 hours, then they forfeit both their order and the order amount they paid. All these conditions are spelled out on our website, and the customer has to read them before they place an order. So that's actually one of the big things that can go wrong.
That's anything else?
Also, there could be supply problems and things like that, but the way we issue with that, we don't charge anybody until after they receive their order, and then we charge their credit card with whatever it is. Google makes a preliminary charge to make sure that the card is valid, so that we know that it's not going to be declined, but we don't actually take any money until after the delivery is made. So if we are unable to provide service for some reason, we wouldn't charge anybody, and we would issue a coupon for the next week or for whenever a discount to make up for the lack of service.
Do you think you're going to have any problems with labor?
No. From my experience, if you offer a good wage of at least $10 an hour to a college student, and it's even better for them often only once a week. People don't want to. They don't have time to commit to a big job. They just want to have something that they can do once in a while. Actually, here at GW, the athletic department hires students to work events and things like that. And it's also very on a one-time basis. One of my roommates actually does this very often. And they only pay $8 an hour or so for like 8 hours of work or 6 hours of work. And they have a huge demand for these jobs for students who want to make a little bit of extra money. So, yes.
Are you set up to pay payroll taxes and those kind of things on your
Yes.
order?
I will be.
Okay. You are or you will?
Well, I am, yeah. I haven't had to do that yet, but yeah.
You did a great job. This is a great presentation.
Yeah,
it was
fantastic.
fantastic.
All right, first for
Anna and me, we really appreciate the opportunity to participate in this, and it's a great honor for us to be here, and Ann got to judge yesterday, and we did today. So everybody that presented yesterday and today, I think everybody's got a great plan, and the ranking's not going to probably have an impact on who ultimately does the best. It's going to be all based on execution, as we all know. So, but you guys did a great job, and so we'll go through. Fourth place is Saturday Delivery. So congratulations. Do you want to come up? Who we want to do first? You going to be in the middle? Okay.
Actually, we do want everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so we move down this way so some people can get the other end? Okay. Is that how we want to do it? I'll get 2 people at the other end.
We'll squeeze in.
Okay, perfect, perfect, yeah. And, hang on 1 second.
Oh,
Blocking you.
kind of short.
Perfect, and just one extra one right here, perfect.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good luck.